The adventures of the new Batman continued this week with the release of Absolute Batman number 11. Well, I say they continued when really this issue is primarily about the Absolute version of Bane. For those that haven't been keeping up, the woes of the Absolute universe are intended to reflect the kinds of problems we see in the real world, with billionaires destroying the planet, corrupt governments lining their own pockets, and the everyday citizens feeling powerless to stop it. This also means that the heroes of this universe are different too. Batman isn't a billionaire playboy, he's a working-class civil engineer. He doesn't have the resources we expect Batman to have. There's no Batplane, no Batmobile, or even a Batcave. In his debut story, he fought to uncover the machinations of the elites, who paid the citizens to riot in order to bring about martial law. However, when the truth was revealed, it didn't change anything. It only escalated matters. The elites have built a secretive prison off the coast of Gotham called Ark M, where they're experimenting on the people of Gotham, like Waylon Jones, childhood friend of Bruce Wayne. Batman broke into the facility and uncovered the horrendous truth, but before he could act, he was overpowered by Ark M's enforcer, Bane. This version of Bane is a literal mountain of muscle, even before he uses Venom. He's calm, meticulous, and thoroughly deadly. After Bane beat Batman unconscious, the staff at Ark M spent the next 3 months trying to break his spirit, but he refused to give in, staging multiple escapes with makeshift weapons, including knuckle dusters made from his own teeth. The last issue ended with Batman reuniting with Waylon, who had now been transformed into a massive alligator man, and the two escaped from Bane. That part of the story doesn't really continue in this issue. Instead, we're shown the origin of Bane, as narrated by Alfred Pennyworth, who is a secret agent in this world. Alfred is very familiar with Bane and he regrets not telling Batman about him. Part of him feared that by simply saying his name he'd will him into appearing, but in reality he knew that whenever the Ark facilities have an issue, Bane will show up. As we've already seen, this version of Bane is quite different from his mainline counterpart, and their differences are further elaborated on in this issue. The mainline universe version of Bane was the son of a revolutionary on the island of Santa Prisca, later revealed to be the villain King Snake. When his revolution was thwarted and he fled the island, his heavily pregnant partner was tried in his absence. The court ruled that his unborn son would serve his sentence at the country's harshest prison, Peña Duro. Bane only ever knew the confines of the prison's walls, and when he was still a child his mother died, and he was forced to go into the prison's general population. During a scuffle between inmates, Bane fell from a great height and landed on his head. While in a coma, he saw his future self, a great and powerful man, who told him he needed to overcome his fears. When he came to, he murdered one of the men responsible for his injury and was cast into solitary confinement until he turned 18. His cell was below the shoreline, and each night it flooded. Just existing was a battle for survival, and this daily struggle helped him become a powerful man. He became so powerful that he was eventually selected to be a test subject for the US military's new steroid, Venom. He was the only test subject to survive and used his new power to overthrow the warden and escape from prison. So what I like about Absolute Bane's origin is that many of the key beats from that original origin are there, but they've been tweaked. While he's still the son of a failed revolutionary, he was not alone. His father was the leader of the group Cielos Libres, which means free skies, and most importantly, he wasn't abandoned by his father. He grew up with him and they had a strong bond. When their revolution failed, the pair were imprisoned along with the rest of their forces, and they endured many hardships. This immediately evokes Batman's origin in this universe, where his father was indiscriminately gunned down during a mass shooting, while his mother remains alive and well. The parallels between the two are becoming more and more obvious as we learn more about Bane. Like Batman, he's trying to save his home from the corrupt elites, but unlike Batman, he cooperates with them. Bane becomes an enforcer for Joker, the mysterious man in white, to ensure that Santa Prisca is free. And freedom is a very important thing to the people of Santa Prisca. Control of the island and its resources has been contested for centuries. Their national bird is the quetzal, a bird that cannot survive in captivity, and it is on the revolutionaries' flag. Bane had never seen one, but when he was shown a photograph of one for the first time, he was appalled by how small and weak it was. His father had asked him to close his eyes and imagine the quetzal soaring in the sky, symbolizing their freedom. Despite telling his father that he could see it, in reality, Bane couldn't picture it. In an attempt to force himself to see it, he ingested some hallucinogenic berries, but instead of seeing a peaceful bird soaring in the skies, he saw a bleak omen. A black bird with a skull on its back. That's what the pattern on his mask represents. His father had fashioned their revolutionary flag into the mask, but instead of being a symbol of a small, frail bird breaking free from captivity, it's a terrible vision of death. Bane and his father staged a coup and took over the prison, but when they reached their island shores, they were surprised to find that there were no hostile forces waiting for them. Instead, Joker waited, along with some bikini-clad women, with a proposition. In this universe, Joker is a humorless billionaire, one of the richest people on Earth, and he is the orchestrator of the ARC program. He was the current occupier of Santa Prisca, intent on mining the island's bedrock for rare minerals, at least until he met Bane. While we're not told exactly what Joker said, Alfred imagines that he simply made a proposition. He would give Bane exactly what he wanted, a free Santa Prisca, and ensure that war would stay far from their shores, on the condition that Bane worked for him from that point on. It's very similar to the deal that Black Mask made to Batman earlier in the series, where he gave him billions of dollars to look the other way. While Batman rejects the offer, burning the money, Bane immediately accepts. The deal was sealed by Bane murdering his father, breaking his spine in an embrace. As part of the deal, Bane agreed to be experimented on in one of the ARC facilities. He was already a towering figure, but in this universe, Venom is more than just a steroid. It gives him complete control over his mind and body. Yes, he can become even bigger and more powerful, but his mind is also expanded. He can absorb more information than humanly possible and master any martial art or form of weaponry. Venom is basically a shortcut to becoming the ultimate tactician. We're shown some of the things Bane does for Joker in order to secure his home's freedom. Assassinations, terror attacks, you name it. But the thing is, Joker is true to his word. When Bane isn't working for Joker, he lives a normal life on Santa Prisca. The people of the island are safe and happy. He has a wife and children, and he mourns his father. In Bane's mind, the sacrifice was worth it. His willingness to compromise is the key difference between him and Batman. When Batman was given the opportunity to improve his own life at the cost of everyone else in Gotham, he refused. Bane's offer was the inverse. Everyone else would get a better life if he sacrificed himself. Alfred notes that part of Bane's mission is to find other people like him that can also be turned into weapons. No one else has survived the same procedure as him, but there have been some partial successes. I find myself wondering if Bane is looking for a successor, someone to pass his cursed work over to. We are shown a hypothetical scenario where Bane finds Batman, hacks his arms off and caves his skull in with the bat symbol axe before handing him over to Dr. Arkham. She performs surgery on him, turning him into a Venom-enhanced Batman, armed with a massive gun instead of the axe. We know this is a fantasy because Batman and Wayland are still trying to escape Arkham, but what really happened is Bane broke into Wayland's condemned gym and kidnapped Batman's other friends, Harvey Dent, Oswald Cobblepot, and Edward Nygma. Given what they did to Wayland, I have to think that Batman's friends are unlikely to get out of this unscathed. Absolute Batman 11 is available now from all good comic shops. If you are based in the UK and don't have a comic shop near you, then you might want to use my affiliate link with the UK's biggest comic book retailer, Forbidden Planet. I have included a link in the pinned comment on this video. Alternatively, if the idea of hoarding a collection of comic books fills you with dread, you really don't want to see my comic box Jenga Towers of Doom, you may want to try getting a digital copy of the issue from Amazon. I also have an affiliate link with them, which you could use to help my channel out. This is also included in the pinned comment. To those that have read this issue, what did you think? During Bane's surgery scene, we're told about 3 other ARC experiments: the KG Beast, Deathstroke, and a mysterious Middle Eastern figure. I have absolutely no idea who that could be. Do you have any guesses? I like the detail of Bane's mask being inspired by his drug-induced nightmare vision. He was supposed to be a symbol of freedom, but really he's a symbol of death. This is not a subtle book, and I think that's one of the reasons why I've responded so strongly to it. It has a very clear message and it wants everyone to understand. And is it bad of me that I actually laughed when I saw Bane break his father's back with a hug? I think it would be very funny if that became his signature move going forward. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Next time, I'll be back shortly with a video looking at Absolute Flash number 6, which promises to be another pleasant sidestep of a story that tells the origin of the Rogues, what they were up to before they got their powers, and how they came to join Project Olympus. And next week I'll be back to talk about 2 more Absolute comics. Up first is Absolute Martian Manhunter number 6, which is the conclusion of the first storyline before the series goes on a brief break. When last we saw John Jones, things weren't looking too good for him as the insane minions of Darkseid planned to perform an operation on him. I'll also talk about Absolute Wonder Woman 11, where Diana will face off with a mysterious figure in the depths of the labyrinth beneath Area 41. Did I mention that she's off her nut on hallucinogens? This will be interesting. Hope to see you then.